Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our mid-season NFL mock draft. It's week 8 right now in the NFL season. It's time to start looking at the draft. We have a pretty good idea of where teams are slated to pick. So let's just start right now, very early in the process. And these are always fun to do. So let's start right now with who I think will have the #1 pick for the Andrew Luck sweepstakes. Now we got to go with the mock draft rules first. Projections are based off logic and not psychic powers. I'm not a psychic, and they're based off, if I were the GM, off my own rankings, and they are need-based instead of best available player, which is how a mock draft is supposed to be. Now let's start with the Indianapolis Colts, who have the first pick. They have to go after quarterback Andrew Luck. He's going to be the future of that franchise once Peyton Manning decides to hang him up. This is a good insurance policy for Peyton Manning if he can't play up to speed like we've known Peyton Manning to do. So Luck has all the tools that you want in a quarterback and is also a tremendous leader. The Miami Dolphins are second on the clock. Luck is gone, so they go with the offensive tackle, Matt Khalil. This guy is an outstanding blocker. You see right here, left tackle. This guy has great footwork, great hand placement, and is also an outstanding run blocker, which should help bolster that struggling ground game for the Dolphins. The St. Louis Rams are up next, and I have them going with wide receiver Justin Blackmon out of Oklahoma State. Imagine Terrell Owens with better hands. That's what you have in Blackmon, a guy that's explosive after the catch, great run after the catch ability, and also has tremendous hands, and he's a true game breaker. It seems like every year a true game breaker comes out of that Oklahoma State program, and this is the next in line of a bunch of solid receivers in their history. The Minnesota Vikings are up next, going with wide receiver Alshon Jeffrey. Reason being, you're starting a young quarterback in Christian Ponder. You have to give him weapons, and this is a true playmaker, a guy that's very physical, reminds some of Marcus Colston or Calvin Johnson. Not as fast, but is the same type of physicality and has the same type of hands. This guy should be a stud in the league. I have the Cardinals with the 5th pick, going with an offensive lineman tackle, Jonathan Martin out of Stanford. There's a reason why Andrew Luck looks very impressive in the pocket. These guys do a great job of protecting him, and he's going to help out that quarterback that they invested in Kevin Kolb. You have to build around him and get him the best offensive line protection possible. Jaguars up next on the clock. You look at wide receiver Michael Floyd out of Notre Dame. This guy is big, physical, reminds me a lot of Marcus Colston. Here's a guy that's very talented, catches everything with his hands, solid player, and also is a good downfield blocker, is what you need in that Jacksonville offense as they run a lot of their plays off tackle. I figure the Broncos will be in the market for a young corner. Look at Morris Claiborne out of LSU. One thing that stands out on film is this guy has tremendous ball skills. You can't stress that enough. That is a true talent that you need at the cornerback position, especially replacing a guy of the likes of Champ Bailey. Claiborne is going to be a star for a lot of years out there in the Mile High City. Next up, we got the Seahawks. They make a big splash early with quarterback Robert Griffin III. This guy is a tremendous playmaker, and I think he fits well in that West Coast offense. Very accurate passer, deep accuracy, short range accuracy is very outstanding, and he also has the mobility to get out of the bad plays and get outside the pocket and do a lot of damage and put pressure on opposing defenses. With the top 3 wide receivers going, I have the Carolina Panthers going with their next need, defensive end Quentin Copples. This guy is outstanding, great burst off the line of scrimmage, and the guy that plays downhill and is going to be a tremendous playmaker for the Panthers, and they need someone on the defensive line opposite of Charles Johnson to help provide that constant pressure. Browns are up next. I think their biggest need has to be linebacker, and what better way to fix that problem to get Vontaze Burfict out of Arizona State. This guy is one of those classic linebackers that seeks pain on opposing offensive players, a guy that looks to hit, a guy that's also outstanding in pass coverage, so is a complete linebacker in the mold of Ray Lewis. I think the Titans go defense with this pick, and they go in the secondary with Dre Kirkpatrick out of Alabama, 6'2", 192, a guy that has outstanding tackling ability, and he is that physical type of corner that the Titans love in the mold of Cortland Finnegan with bigger size. The Chiefs are on the clock, and I have them going inside linebacker with Luke Kuechly out of Boston College. This guy is awesome. All he does is make tackles. I don't know why he doesn't get the props that he deserves. That's the type of linebacker you want. You team him up next to Derek Johnson, and they have a quartet of linebackers that rivals the Saints' Dome Patrol. Surprise pick in the draft right here. I'm going with Brandon Weeden, quarterback out of Oklahoma State. I like this guy. I think he's one of the top passers in the country. Short range accuracy, deep ball accuracy are all check marks for this guy, and has outstanding arm strength, which is making him one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And there's a reason why Oklahoma State is one of the top teams in college football. The Cowboys are on the clock. I have them going with free safety TJ McDonald out of USC. I like this guy a lot, man. This guy is one of the best safeties in the country. Versatile, can play in the box, and is a great hitter, and also has solid ball skills. And that's what the Cowboys need on the back half of that defense to help out that aggressive cornerback play that they have already. The Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock. I need help in the run defense department. Middle linebacker Monte Teo is a guy that I really like. Ever since he stepped foot on campus, he has consistently improved, and there's a reason why that Notre Dame Fighting Irish defense is one of the top in the country this year. Monte Teo is going to be a stud for the Eagles. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock, and I have them going with cornerback Alfonso Denard out of Nebraska. This guy is 5'10", 205, similar build to Rondé Barber, and he has the same type of skill set. Very good tackler, great ball skills, and a guy that's going to fit nicely in that Tampa defense. Second pick in the first round for the Browns, they have to go with the offensive player. Trent Richardson is going to help bolster that offense. Right now, no one respects the ground game of the Browns. So you insert Richardson, and now Colt McCoy is going to have the opportunity to hit targets deep down the field because of the advantage of the play action pass. Next up are the Chargers, and need to find a way to get to the quarterback, and that's where Courtney Upshaw will help these guys out a lot. All this guy does is make plays. He's going to help bolster that front seven for the Chargers, because Upshaw is a guy that's very physical and has great football instincts, and that's what I like most about the young man out of Alabama. Speaking of pass rush, the Buffalo Bills need that, and that's where Melvin Ingram comes into play. You see right there, big man with football, and that's what's going to happen for the Buffalo Bills. This guy is relentless when he gets to the quarterback and has the knack for the big play, and has made many big plays for the Gamecocks this season. The Cincinnati Bengals are on the clock, and you have to protect your investment in Andy Dalton, so they go with interior offensive lineman David DeCastro out of Stanford. This guy is a great inline blocker, has great hand placement, and that's the good thing about these guys that's coming out now. The offensive linemen, they do a great job with their hand placement, and that's why they're able to sustain blocks. The Chicago Bears are up next, and they would help in the secondary with free safety Markel Martin. This guy is a ferocious hitter and also has solid ball skills. One thing that lacks about the Bears defense is that playmaker at the safety spot. Martin should solve that problem immediately. For the Cincinnati Bengals, they were one of my favorite players, Stephon Gilmore out of South Carolina, a playmaking corner. May not be as fast, but this guy has great ball skills and also has great football instincts, and it's a reason why he was one of the top players in college football right now. Jets are up next, and they go with the defensive lineman, outside linebacker Brandon Jenkins out of Florida State. This guy is a pass rush specialist, great speed off the line of scrimmage, great quickness, and has that great closing speed. So the trifecta for Jenkins, and this guy is going to be a terror for the Jets defense. In New York with the Giants on the clock, they're going with tackle Raleigh Reef. I like this guy a lot. It seems like every year an offensive lineman comes out of Iowa that is very outstanding. See right here, watch him stonewall this guy and drive him to the ground. That's what you want on the left side to protect Eli Manning. And you can see right there, he can help in the run game. And right here, his pass blocking is also outstanding. The Ravens are up next, and they're going back into the secondary again. Janoris Jenkins is a guy that I really like. Came out of Florida, transferred down to North Alabama. But one thing that I like most about him is his ball skills, and this guy can play off man. He can play man press. He can play man free. I like the way he plays the game. Tremendous playmaker for the Lions. Detroit is on the clock now, and I think they're going with the interior lineman, the center, Peter Kahns out of Wisconsin. Detroit fans will let you know that they struggle right now at the center spot, and Kahns is a guy that's awesome. There's a reason why that Wisconsin Badgers run game is dominant, and also the reason why Russell Wilson is well protected in the pocket. The Houston Texans are up next. I had them going with nose tackle Alameda Tiamau. This guy is outstanding player. They need a nose tackle right now for the Houston Texans' new 3-4 defense, and this guy commands a triple team at all times, and also one of those guys that is very strong at the point of attack. The 49ers are up next. I had them going with the defensive line, a 5 technique. Jared Crick, a lot of guys compare him to J.J. Watt. I think that's an awesome comparison. This guy is relentless, ferocious hitter, and one of those Nebraska-type defensive players that's going to bring his lunch pail each and every day. The Steelers are on the clock, and I have them going with guard Cordy Glenn out of Georgia. Right now for the Bulldogs, he's playing left tackle, which also shows you his versatility, but he's 6'5", 348 pounds, and you plug him in the middle next to Pouncey and company, this guy is going to keep Ben Roethlisberger upright in the pocket. As always, the Patriots have 2 picks in the first round. This one, they go with Brandon Thompson out of Clemson. They're very old on that defensive front and need to get younger, and this guy is a tremendous player and also is what they want. 6'2", 310 pounds, very quick off the ball, and also has that strength to push the pockets you see right there against Florida State. And with the Patriots' second pick, I think they stay on the defensive side, go with defensive end Devin Taylor. What I like about him most is his pass rushing ability and his versatility to drop back in coverage. This guy is all over the field for South Carolina, double-digit sack type of guy, and should help bolster that pass rush for New England. And with the 32nd pick, I have the Packers going defense with pass rusher Vinny Curry, one of the best pass rushers right now in college football, virtually unblockable, 6'2", 265, causing a lot of problems for opposing offenses in Conference USA. This guy's going to be a terror at the next level. Since the Saints don't have a first-round pick, here's their second-round selection, Bruce Irvin out of West Virginia. They need outside linebacker help in the worst way. This guy has speed off the edge, could be a perfect weak side linebacker as he's one of those chase and tackle type of linebackers and the guy that's always around the football. The Raiders don't have a first, second, or third round pick, so their 4th round selection, free safety Robert Lester out of Alabama. I like the way this guy plays, and they need somebody in that back half of that defense that's a quarterback out there on the field that has ball skills and awareness, and I like what Lester brings to the table. Any Nick Saban coach player should do fine. For more draft videos, visit footballgameplan.com/draft or visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan. And listen to the Football Game Plan radio show, which airs Saturdays 11 a.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.